Hey everyone, back here with Alan. Been a while since we've been working on the cars together. And I guess I really can't qualify this as me working on the car because he's doing all the work right now. He's taking the seat out of the S13, gonna put it in the FRS so he can get it tuned tomorrow with HRI Tuning down in Orlando. He's actually talking about taking the FRS down to Orlando and just keeping it with him as opposed to us driving down with it on the trailer and getting it tuned. You know, I'm not real crazy about him keeping the FRS as a daily next week, especially knowing him, and after he gets it tuned, is he gonna be able to behave himself?
Yeah.
I am looking forward to getting the FRS done. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for me to try to get out there and drift it. And I know, I see the comments, you know, drift dad, they really drift dad if he doesn't drift. One of these days, it's just been pretty hectic with my schedule, and then when I go down to the drift events, either my car isn't done or we just have Alan's car. So, and I'm not about to jump in the S13. You need any help?
Maybe a little bit.
So some of you may be wondering where my BRZ is. Actually, after Christmas, I asked my daughter if she wanted to take it back to Gainesville with her, to UF, where she goes to college. She really didn't, but then I talked her into her because I'm really trying to talk her into doing something a little different. Right now, she has this Honda Fit, which is a nice little car, but it just ain't cool. You know, maybe if she slammed it on some RPF ones and dailied it, that might be a little different, but she won't do that. So I figured if she takes the BRZ to college, maybe she'll start to like it, and then that'll give me an excuse where we can trade her Fit there and for something a little cooler like a Toyota 86 or BRZ or an FRS. So far, she says she likes the BRZ. She gets a lot of heads turned in her direction because she said it's loud, and then it has that ambush drift banner on it. Anyway, she hasn't come back, and it's been what, at least 2 weeks. She hasn't come back to get her Fit, so maybe she's gonna start liking that thing. It is an amazing day. First time ever said we would have a job done in a certain amount of time and actually did it. Any more? We gotta go buy some lottery tickets. Alan and I actually got a job done in the time we said we would do it.
Oh.
And that means that it is our lucky day. So is there like a big Powerball or anything?
No.
No?
Okay, so we're back from dinner. We also went to IKEA. My mom wanted to go for some odd reason, even though she was just there like a week ago. You have something for Nacho, don't you?
Yes, we do. Look. Look. Oh, what's that? Oh, wait, Nacho. Wait.
You like it, Nacho?
Nacho, come here. Nacho, bring it here.
No, he wants to go inside. All right, fast forward a couple hours. Drift Dad and I have just been doing little bitty things that need to get done before the tune. One being the Grimmspeed boost controller that I have hooked up right back here. Yes, I'm using zip ties for these vacuum lines. I will get hose clamps, like we just don't have any on us right now. And because the tune isn't set up for that boost controller, I just have the lines all prepped for when I meet James tomorrow. I can just pop the hood, throw on the lines, and it'll be good to be tuned in that regard. And we've also been working on the E85 kit from MotoEast, getting that all installed. And for the most part, it is done. I have everything routed that I need to be at least routed outside of the fuel line, but I have the ethanol content adapter hooked up to the reader. I'll figure out where all this stuff will be tucked. I guess one thing that I would like to cover that I kind of had difficulty with, at least installing this whole little flex fuel module, is if you get the MotoEast plug and play adapter. I didn't know where this blue wire connected to, and according to all of the DIYs and the MotoEast instructions, they say it's the third connector here. I didn't really know what that meant in terms of like where it goes and whatever, but if you take a look, all it is basically a harness extension that has a wire that's crimped out that goes into the ethanol content reader over there. So if you guys are going to be installing this MotoEast flex fuel kit in the future, keep that in mind. Now, even though the car isn't tuned on E85 and the ECU has no idea that there's an E85 module on it, we can still hook up the fuel line, but without actually connecting the connector that it goes into. All right, so I think that wraps up the flex fuel kit install. I have it zip tied down right here without it plugged in.
You and your zip ties, holy smokes.
Well, what else are you gonna use? But I guess we'll go ahead and see if it starts up. Let it prime a little bit. We're in business. So I've made the journey over here to visit James at HRI Tuning to get the FRS tuned. He's over here working his magic, doing whatever wizardry it is to get the car done. One thing that I had to do as soon as I got here was to wire in or just button down the vacuum lines for the boost controller, as well as to get this E85 flex fuel sensor thing just plugged in. I went ahead and on my way I stopped by some gas stations since we really don't have many E85 stations here. Let me just press this button real quick. So I picked up some E85, I got about 5 gallons of it, and according to James, I don't really need all that much. We can mix it with the 93 and the sensor will take care of the rest?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, James, I know you said you're gonna tune this thing to be safe. How much power do you think, reliably, that we will be putting down?
I mean, typically on pump gas, you'd see somewhere just around 300 wheel. And then on ethanol, we might be seeing like 350, 360. I mean, we're just not gonna turn the boost up as much.
Yeah, that makes sense. And see, this is totally one of those instances because my dad and I are okay. Well, we're not okay with the car blowing up, but we kind of understand that it's bound to happen. It's never okay, exactly. So if it does, it's gonna have nothing to do with the tune because I'm telling you, James is the man to get your FRS BRZ tuned.
Depends on who you ask, I guess.
How many are you at now? Any idea?
I mean, well over 1,000. I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years now. And
Jeez.
About 300 cars a year.
Man.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's quite a few.
So James did send me that base map when we initially had the turbo installed. Now he's just gonna go through and fine tune everything. So we're just data logging right now. James just wants to make sure that just from driving it around that everything looks okay in terms of all of the important parameters. It's so loud and obnoxious to sit in the passenger seat though. Like, I guess when you're driving it, you don't really think about it. But, I'm not a fan.
I'm driving it, it's still loud. Trust me.
James is just revising some things, just looking over everything. Even on just whatever we're putting down power-wise, it's getting a little squirrely with running, I think I have 50 PSI on these tires. So we're gonna back it off a little bit. Hopefully aim for around 20 maybe, just so we can put the power down to the ground. So we got the first couple of pulls done. James says it's looking good. Now I'm just filling up the FRS with all of the E85 that I brought with me. James, you still got to load up like the E85 parameters on the tune? It's already there?
Already there.
Look at him, he's already 5 steps ahead of me. All right, we did our first pull on E85. Now, James, what is it that you're doing now? You're just looking over certain...
I just want to check and make sure everything works.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Good deal.
Set of expected conditions.
Right.
Make sure are true.
So if you guys are local to Florida or in the Southeast and you want to get tuned by James, what he'll actually do is if you drive to him, you'll basically meet up at his house and he will load up the tune. You guys will do a bunch of pulls around town. So it's basically like a street tune, it's not like a dyno tune. So in essence, it's a lot safer to tune it as a street tune. If you're daily driving your car, this is exactly how you're gonna want it to be set up.
To be clear, we mean safe in terms of like load accuracy.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
safe in terms of smashing everything.
Right.
The dyno is considerably safer.
Right.
I very strictly believe in tune it where you use it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in fake load.
Right.
From that. I mean, I've been bit by that plenty of times.
Yeah.
If possible, I always prefer to tune a car in its actual application.
Right. And I have 110% faith in James and his ability to tune. And like I said, if something happens to the car, I know it's not going to be tune related.
To the internet, it will be. I promise. It always is. You know, curb your tire, it's my fault.
So it's actually pretty cool because with the Ecutech tuning platform program, what is it called? Is it a platform or Race ROM?
Race ROM is the trade name
Okay.
for the ROM patch. So it just allows you to like, custom mapping.
But it's cool because it enables you to use the cruise control stock as like your map selection tool. Pretty nifty, especially when I'm out at the drift track, and if I want to go into the kill mode and just lay down a crazy lap with a bunch of smoke, I just throw it in there. Even though James doesn't really advise using that much.
It's not recommended.
Yeah. Okay, she's all said and done. James, you did say you might have to re-estimate your power figures.
Yeah.
What do you think now?
Initially, we thought we were going to be running 12 pounds, just to be conservative since it's a drift car. It turns out that's basically what it runs off the gate. So for map 2, we ended up running 14 and a half.
Okay.
It should put probably, I mean, we're still fairly conservative. I mean, we're not tuning the thing to the ragged edge or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it should easily be 380, 400 wheel all day. I mean, the last one that I did for reference had the same kit with a little bit more aggressive tune. It was SPD 500X Flex.
Yeah.
Same everything. He put 423 at 14 and a half. So, I mean, this is probably run a couple degrees.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, I mean, I would think 380 would be easy. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit 400.
Good deal. I mean, for what it's worth, this thing being the drift car and at least wanting to keep some form of reliability with it, 380 is more than enough, especially on these 215 width tires that I have. I will tell you all, I will leave a link to HRI Tuning's website in the description. He does a lot of e-tuning stuff.
Yeah.
So don't think just because you're not in Florida that you can't go through HRI to get tuned, because he will definitely do that for you. So make sure to check him out. James is such an awesome guy. If you guys are on the market to get a tune, just go through him, do yourself a favor. Not to mention, he just bought a brand new 2017 Ford Raptor. That thing's a beast. And not to mention that he's aiming to be like one of the fastest FA20 turbo FRSs in existence. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to riding along in, because I know he'll take me for a ride in it. I can already tell this car is so much fun. I gotta be careful with this thing. Is quick, and I'm just on the first map. We're only at E84 right now. Just wait till we get higher up. Looks like I might still have my oil leak coming from this fitting. Need to get that replaced. Oh man, I am tired. I've been doing homework all day, just trying to keep up since this is my senior semester. And I'm about to go get groceries now, but before I do that, I just wanted to talk to you all for a little bit. So as far as other things that are going to be happening to the FRS, I have the PBM dual caliper knuckle and nameless hydraulic handbrake that I still need to install. And that should be happening within the next couple of weeks. It's just the problem is I'm here in Orlando for school, and then I go back home during the weekends and try to film as much as I can. But either way, I just want to take a little moment to thank all of you guys for being so supportive on the channel. I try to do my best to respond to all of the comments, but sometimes timing just gets the best of me. But I really am so appreciative of all of you that have decided to click that sub button and press like on every one of the videos. It really does mean the world to me, especially given the fact that I don't really have that big of an outreach. But I always have a lot of people that consistently watch the videos, and I am so thankful for that. As far as I'm concerned, I am just any other normal college kid that just likes to share his passion for cars and drifting. And to be able to share that with all of you is a privilege that I will always be thankful for. So enough of me talking. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.